In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, many of us yearn for a sense of peace. We search for it in material possessions, external validation, and fleeting moments of pleasure. Yet true and lasting peace seems to elude us. What if the key to unlocking this inner sanctuary lies not in external pursuits, but in the depths of our own hearts and in our connections with others? This is not just about romantic relationships, but about cultivating a deep and meaningful connection with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us. It's about embracing vulnerability, fostering trust, and opening ourselves up to the transformative power of human connection. When we hear the word intimacy, our minds often jump to romantic relationships. While romantic intimacy is certainly a beautiful and important aspect of the human experience, it is only one facet of this multifaceted concept. True intimacy encompasses so much more than physical touch and passionate embraces. It delves into the very core of our being. It's about creating a space where we can truly be ourselves, without judgment or pretense. It's about allowing ourselves to be seen and known, flaws and all, by another human being. It's about offering that same acceptance and understanding in return. It's about building bridges of empathy and compassion that connect us on a soul level. In a world that often prizes independence and self-sufficiency, embracing vulnerability and seeking intimacy can feel daunting. We may fear rejection, judgment, or the pain of potential heartbreak. Yet, it is in these moments of vulnerability, when we allow ourselves to be truly seen and known, that we experience the most profound connections and the most transformative growth. When we cultivate intimacy in our lives, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We create a support system that can carry us through life's challenges. We discover the joy of shared experiences and the comfort of knowing that we are not alone. We learn to see ourselves more clearly through the eyes of others, and we begin to heal old wounds and embrace our authentic selves. Intimacy. The word evokes closeness, a feeling of being seen and understood. Often romanticized, it's more than passionate encounters. Intimacy transcends romance, weaving through our lives in subtle ways. It's in heartfelt conversations with friends, shared laughter, and quiet moments with loved ones. These moments are threads in the tapestry of intimacy. They speak to our need for connection and belonging. Intimacy is about everyday moments of shared humanity. If intimacy is the language of the heart, then trust, vulnerability, and shared understanding form its essential grammar. These elements are the building blocks upon which deep and meaningful connections are forged, creating a space for genuine emotional exchange. Trust, the cornerstone of intimacy, is not something that is given freely. It is earned through consistent actions that demonstrate reliability, respect, and care. It's the feeling of safety and security that allows us to let down our defenses, to open our hearts without fear of judgment or betrayal. Vulnerability, often perceived as a weakness, is actually the birthplace of intimacy. It's the courage to show up authentically, to express our true thoughts and feelings even when it feels risky or uncertain. Shared understanding, the final piece of the puzzle, emerges when we approach our interactions with empathy and compassion. It's the ability to step outside our own perspectives and truly listen to another's experience, seeking to understand their feelings and motivations without judgment or the need to be right. When these three elements intertwine, trust, vulnerability, and shared understanding, a powerful alchemy occurs. The transformative power of intimacy extends far beyond the realm of our personal relationships. It ripples outwards, influencing the way we interact with the world around us. When we cultivate a deep sense of connection within ourselves and with others, we begin to see the world through a lens of compassion, empathy, and understanding. We become more attuned to the needs of others, more willing to lend a helping hand, and more forgiving of ourselves and those around us. the walls we build around our hearts begin to crumble, replaced by bridges of understanding and compassion that connect us to the larger human experience. Intimacy reminds us that we are not isolated islands, but rather interconnected beings, sharing this journey of life together. It teaches us that our joys are amplified when shared, our burdens lighter when carried together, and our humanity more fully realized when we embrace the vulnerability of connection. Imagine sitting across from a loved one, a comfortable silence enveloping you both. Words aren't necessary to convey the deep sense of connection you share. You simply present in each other's presence, hearts attuned to the subtle nuances of emotion that flicker between you. This is the essence of emotional intimacy, a realm where vulnerability is met with compassion, and unspoken understanding flows as naturally as breath. It's a dance of shared experiences, where joys are multiplied and sorrows are halved simply by the act of holding space for one another. It's the feeling of being truly seen, heard, and understood, not just for the masks we present to the world, but for the complex, messy, and beautiful beings we are at our core. Emotional intimacy is not about perfection or the absence of conflict. It's about navigating life's inevitable storms with an open heart and a willingness to lean on one another for support. It's about creating a safe haven where we can let down our guards, shed our armor, and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, knowing that we are accepted and loved unconditionally. Nature's gentle touch. Intimacy's embrace. Nature offers a profound source of connection. Stepping into nature nourishes the soul and awakens awe. Imagine feeling the cool grass and warm sun on your skin. The breeze carries wildflower scents and birdsong fills the air. In these moments we shed worries and connect to beauty. The symphony of shared moments. In life's symphony, it's the small moments that resonate deeply. Shared laughter over an inside joke, the silence of a car ride, preparing a meal together. These moments weave intimacy. Mindfulness teaches us to savor these moments, to be present with loved ones, and appreciate ordinary experiences. Put down our phones, silence the noise, and truly listen with our hearts. Modern life's hurdle to intimacy. In the relentless current of modern life, we are swept away by to-dos, deadlines, and distractions. Technology competes for our attention, leaving us fragmented and disconnected. We exist in perpetual motion, our minds racing to the next task. This pace takes a toll on our capacity for intimacy. We lose sight of the present moment. We fail to notice the gentle touch of a loved one's hand. In the midst of this whirlwind of activity, it's easy to feel as though intimacy is a luxury we can't afford. But intimacy is a conscious choice we make in each moment. It's about reclaiming our attention from distraction and redirecting it towards the present moment. Mindfulness offers us a pathway back to presence, reconnecting with the world around us. It's about cultivating awareness without judgment, allowing ourselves to simply be present. As we practice mindfulness, we notice the subtle nuances of our experience. We become more attuned to our internal landscape and develop a greater capacity for empathy. The benefits of cultivating intimacy in a distracted world extend far beyond our personal relationships. We become more present and attuned to our own needs and the needs of those around us. We recognize the interconnectedness of all things, understanding that our actions have the power to create positive change. This shift towards greater presence and connection can have a profound impact on our communities. In a world that often feels divided, intimacy offers a beacon of hope. In our exploration of intimacy, we often focus on our connections with others, seeking solace, understanding, and a sense of belonging in the embrace of loved ones. Yet, there exists a realm of intimacy even more fundamental to our well-being, the intimacy we cultivate with ourselves. This inner sanctuary, often overlooked in the busyness of our lives, holds the key to unlocking profound peace, self-acceptance, and a deep sense of wholeness. Self-intimacy is the practice of turning our attention inward, of becoming intimately acquainted with the vast and intricate landscape of our own hearts and minds. It's about approaching ourselves with the same curiosity, compassion, and non-judgmental awareness that we would offer a dear friend. It's about creating a space where we can explore our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without fear of criticism or self-reproach. Just as we cultivate intimacy in our relationships with others through open communication, active listening, and a willingness to be vulnerable, we nurture self-intimacy by cultivating self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. It's about learning to listen to the whispers of our own hearts, to honor our needs and desires, and to embrace the fullness of who we are, imperfections and all. Section 2. Embracing the shadows, befriending our inner landscape. The path to self-intimacy often leads us through challenging terrain. The shadowy corners of our being where we've buried our fears, insecurities, and past hurts. We may be tempted to turn away from these uncomfortable emotions to distract ourselves with busyness or to numb ourselves with unhealthy coping mechanisms. Yet it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that the greatest potential for growth and healing resides. When we cultivate the courage to turn towards our shadows with compassion and curiosity, we begin to unravel the layers of conditioning, limiting beliefs, and past experiences that have shaped our perception of ourselves and the world around us. We begin to understand the root causes of our fears, insecurities, and self-sabotaging behaviors, and in doing so, we empower ourselves to make different choices. Embracing our shadows doesn't mean condoning harmful behaviors or denying the reality of our pain. It simply means approaching these aspects of ourselves with a willingness to understand, to forgive, and to integrate them into our understanding of who we are. Section 3. The gift of self-compassion, nurturing the seeds of inner peace. As we deepen our capacity for self-intimacy, we cultivate a powerful ally on our journey towards inner peace, self-compassion. In a world that often emphasizes self-criticism and striving for perfection, self-compassion offers a radical act of kindness towards ourselves. It's about treating ourselves with the same care, understanding, and forgiveness that we would offer a loved one who is struggling. Self-compassion is not about letting ourselves off the hook or ignoring our mistakes. It's about recognizing that we are all human, capable of making mistakes and experiencing setbacks. It's about offering ourselves the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend who is going through a difficult time. When we cultivate self-compassion, we begin to challenge the inner critic that tells us we're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. The art of active listening. Active listening weaves hearts and minds in a dance of understanding and empathy. It's about creating a space where another soul feels truly seen, heard, and valued. Imagine sitting with a loved one, their words flowing like a gentle stream. Listen with your full attention, sensing the energy behind their words. Active listening is a practice of presence, offering undivided attention. It's about setting aside our own agendas and simply allowing the other person's experience to wash over us. Pay attention to words, body language, tone, and facial expressions. Notice the subtle cues that reveal emotions beneath the surface. Transform relationships into sacred encounters of the heart. Authentic communication bridges our inner world with others. It's the courage to speak our truth and reveal our hearts. Imagine expressing your deepest fears and insecurities to a loved one. Share your dreams and sorrows with an open heart. Authentic communication is about speaking from the heart. Let go of the need to control the narrative. Create a space where imperfections are embraced. Section 3. Shared journeys, deepening intimacy through mindful practices. Intimacy is an ongoing journey of discovery, a shared exploration of our hearts and interconnectedness. We can deepen intimacy through shared experiences that foster connection and presence. Imagine a mindful nature walk with a loved one, attuned to the natural world. Walking in silence, your breath synchronizes with your steps, creating peace and connection. Gather with friends for a mindful meal, savoring each bite and engaging in heartfelt conversation. Or practice guided meditation together, creating a sacred space for stillness and reflection. Shared mindfulness practices deepen intimacy by fostering presence and connection. Weaving intimacy into the fabric of our lives. Intimacy is not just a single thread, but the intricate weaving that holds our lives together. It's the warmth of connection, the strength of shared vulnerability, and the beauty of authenticity. Think of the countless moments touched by intimacy. Shared laughter, comforting silence, and unexpected kindness. Each act of kindness adds depth to our existence. We are integral parts of a vast, interconnected web of life. Embracing the transformative power of intimacy. The journey towards greater intimacy is not always easy. It requires courage to be vulnerable and authentic, but the rewards are immeasurable. Intimacy transforms us, heals old wounds, and awakens our capacity for love and compassion. It begins within our own hearts, with self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. Embrace imperfections and treat ourselves with kindness. This creates a foundation for deeper connections with others. Cultivating intimacy for a more compassionate and connected future. Cultivating intimacy offers a beacon of hope, a pathway to a more compassionate, connected, and fulfilling future. Imagine a world where vulnerability is seen as a strength, where authenticity is valued above perfection, and where empathy and compassion guide our interactions. This is the world we can create, one mindful step at a time. By embracing intimacy, we awaken to the interconnectedness of all things. Our well-being is linked to the well-being of others and the planet. True fulfillment comes from the depth of our connections and the love we share. Let us live as embodiments of intimacy, creating a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued.